You're at work, doing your best, and then they walk in. The eye roller, the interrupter, the passive-aggressive note leaver, the energy vampire in your office or on Zoom. You know who I'm talking about, the toxic coworker. They derail meetings, take credit for your work, and somehow always survive every reorg. You don't want drama, you don't want to be petty, but you also don't want to be walked on. So, how do you deal with a toxic coworker without losing your cool, your confidence, or your credibility? Stick around, because today I'm giving you 5 proven strategies used by emotionally intelligent professionals and backed by behavioral psychology. They'll help you protect your peace without starting a war. Let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Work Chat. Today, we're going to talk about how to deal with a toxic coworker while maintaining your professionalism. But first, let's define toxic. Not annoying, not difficult. Toxic behavior is when someone consistently makes the work environment emotionally unsafe, whether through manipulation, undermining, gossip, or hostility. But here's the trap. We focus too much on who they are and not enough on what they do. Successful professionals learn to recognize and name the pattern, not label the person. Instead of saying, she's just toxic, say, I notice she interrupts when I speak and redirects attention to herself. This shift helps you stay objective, and objectivity is power. When you're not reactive, you can plan your next move strategically, not emotionally. Now let's talk about energy. Toxic coworkers are draining, not because of what they do once, but because of what they do repeatedly. That's why emotionally intelligent professionals build a psychological buffer. There are a few ways to build the buffer. You may journal or brain dump after tough interactions to clear emotional residue. Talk it out professionally with a mentor or trusted peer, not to gossip, but to reset. Or frame the interaction that this isn't about me, this is their pattern. You're not ignoring the problem, you're depersonalizing it. Toxic behavior is often a projection of insecurity or need for control. Your job isn't to fix them, it's to keep their chaos from becoming your chaos. Now for the hard truth. Toxic coworkers don't always respect boundaries. But that doesn't mean you stop setting them. It means you learn to set micro-boundaries, small, subtle limits that protect your time and energy without triggering confrontation. For example, when they overshare gossip, you may say, "Oh wow, I didn't hear that. I'm trying to stay out of that loop." And when they dump last-minute tasks, you may say, "I'm currently focused on a deadline, so I'm not able to help, unfortunately, but I'm happy to support if we can plan ahead next time." When they interrupt, "I'd love to finish my thought, then I'm all ears." These phrases are non-escalating but firm. They help you hold the line while sounding professional. Remember, you don't need to win every battle. You just need to protect your lane. Let's say the toxic behavior is starting to affect your projects, or even your reputation. This is where successful people activate the document and distance rule. So how does it work? Step 1. Document it. Keep a neutral, dated log of what happened, when and where, who witnessed it. Avoid emotional language. Stick to facts. Why? Because if things escalate, HR doesn't care how you feel. They care what you can prove. Step 2. Distance strategically. You can't always avoid the person, but you can. Limit unstructured time with them. Sit on opposite ends in meetings. Use written communication to create a paper trail. This isn't avoidance. It's boundary management in a professional context. The more you reduce friction, the more power you regain. Sometimes a toxic coworker crosses the line and you have no choice but to escalate. How do you do it without burning bridges? Well, you do it strategically. Here's how high performers handle it. Step 1. Check your pattern log. Have you documented multiple incidents with dates and impact? Step 2. Request a professional conversation. Instead of asking, "Can we talk?" try something like, "Could we talk about our workflow? I've noticed some patterns that might be affecting how we collaborate. Have you noticed the same?" Start with shared goals, not blame. Step 3. Involve your manager, if needed. If the issue affects performance or team morale, bring your documentation and ask for support, not punishment. Frame it as, "I want to make sure our team is set up for success. Here's what I've observed." This is not tattling, it's risk management. You're advocating for psychological safety, something every high-functioning team needs to thrive. But you may ask, what if the toxic person is your boss? Ah, yes, the classic twist. Here's the playbook if the toxic behavior comes from your manager. First, detach emotionally. Their tone doesn't define your value. Second, use upward communication strategies. These are techniques that let you share feedback without sounding like you're challenging authority. For example, you may say, I've noticed that when feedback comes through late, I struggle to meet deadlines. Is there a way we can align sooner? Also, make sure you keep good documentation and build internal allies. For examples, find mentors or senior peers who can offer perspective and, if needed, back you up. You may also want to explore long-term moves. If the toxicity is chronic and unresolved, your best power play might be finding a healthier team or manager. At the end of the day, successful people know that dealing with toxic coworkers isn't just about survival. It's about building skills that turn challenges into leadership opportunities. Those skills are what help you shift from simply surviving to confidently leading. Because when you learn to hold boundaries, manage emotions, protect your energy, and communicate assertively, you're not just fixing a problem, you're becoming a leader. These are the exact skills executives use every day in high-stakes environments. You're training in real time for the next level of your career. And trust me, people notice. The way you handle toxicity shows whether you react or lead. All right, it's time to recap the playbook. First, recognize patterns, not just people. Second, build a psychological buffer. Third, set micro-boundaries with grace. Fourth, use the document and distance rule. Fifth, escalate strategically when needed. Sixth, manage up if it's your boss. Seventh, shift your mindset from surviving to leading. Toxic people don't get to steal your peace. Your response is your power. Use it wisely. That's a wrap for today's episode. If this was helpful, hit the like button and drop a comment to let us know what's the hardest part of dealing with toxic people at work. Also, don't forget to subscribe for weekly videos on workplace strategy, career growth, and emotional intelligence. And remember, you can stay calm, you can stay professional, and you can still protect your boundaries. See you in the next episode.